no good. Oh, no, there we go. Found it. Found it.
Are we looking for the live? Looking for the live.
Looking for the live, looking for the live.
There it is. Okay. Just share this in the chat real quick. And we can get started.
All right.
All right, ready. Ready when you are.
Well,
I
good
guess
morning,
I'll.
everybody.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
No, go ahead.
What do
Great.
you guess? So
I
no,
was gonna say I
just
guess I'll
we're
do the
back
intro
again.
since I usually do. You got it. Go ahead.
Okay, well then you go ahead and intro. No, you go ahead. So, good morning, everybody. You're back here with Coffee and Coins with Les and Natasha. We were just doing a little bit of pre-gaming. I will go ahead and start with just the economic news that isn't much. We did have some mortgage starts and the refinance and things like that this morning. And if you were here with us yesterday, then you know that we expect that to be an absolute nothing burger. The housing market is fairly in a standstill at the moment. So those are not um, the not numbers that I would have expected to have any sort of impact on. That's holding very true. Um, um, we talked about the fact that we have the monthly options expiration. Yes, and we also have the VIX-L. So I'll be paying attention to that. I feel like it opens today. The expiration occurs with the opening print of today. And that's probably why you've seen some fluctuation in the VIX. I'm going to switch to a chart really quick because yesterday we closed the S&P at a new all-time high. We are slightly down off of that, but you can see where we ended the daily yesterday. So we're slightly down, and if you look at yesterday's action, let me get you an hourly. If you look at yesterday's action, kind of lends to what we discussed on this morning live, to expect some volatility and some moves that didn't really make any sense. And what we saw was everything looked like it was hunky-dory, and then around 12:30, we took a nice tumble, floating back into your moving averages, and then finishing the day with a bang. So all that action is what we discussed yesterday, being just the expiration of monthly options and people dumping the ones that are getting ready to expire and then forward purchasing. It's a little bit difficult to sit here and tell you that we won't have another day like today, but the momentum is encouraging. Um, as always, I would say that you need to take your profit when you see it, but I'll be looking for us for more upward movement to take out here on the SPY chart, the 6111.49, and to remain above it. Otherwise, I see that we'll end up probably back at about 608, 609-ish on the downside. But as long as those numbers hold, we're staying right there in that range that we would expect.
That. I'm just peeking at your chart. I was looking at the watch list to see which of the plays from yesterday were up. Um, so you Let me look at SPY on my chart on just the higher time frames. This is scary territory for me. Because I tend to expect a dump. But my next fib level is about 616. And
If we can hold above that, absolutely. If we can hold above the 611.49 level, then that would be exactly what I expected.
yeah,
But
and
not unless and
only
until then. We discussed the whole being range bound and needing a catalyst. Um, and I think it's going to be tough this week just because of the options expiration. If you look at volumes from yesterday, they scream institution, institution, institution for the action that we were seeing. So
mm,
you may not get there till Friday. And do I think we get there? Absolutely. I just don't think that that happens before next week. And I would be leery of, especially with these index calls and understanding how those premiums move when you're playing the indexes and ETFs, right? So they're not weeklies or monthlies. You can buy that far out, but that's not traditionally how they're sold. You can buy them all the way down daily. And if you had selected, say, something out for next week, and you have a 3 or 4 point drop, 30, 40 points, if you're converting that to SPX, um, you need so much more upward momentum to break even on that
mm,
than you would say a regular option that you bought on a monthly.
okay.
Oh yeah,
I,
it's the market maker's job to take your money. um, I think you and I had this discussion once before. Where it was just like, yeah, I tend to trade less during the options expirations, very much so.
I know that there is a pattern to it and that it is very effective at basically taking premium from people. So I try to definitely time my entries around what I have experienced with what occurs. Like for instance, sell H. I can't remember when I took the sell H trade, but it declined with everything else, I think. And then it has essentially ranged for 4 to 6 weeks. Um, and now that we are 2 days from the expiration, as expected, it is starting to climb again. I think it's up like 7, 8%. So it's tricky. It is definitely tricky. I'm looking at APPN, which is a company that I had researched when, let me look at the price, the this year's prices that I had researched when I was putting together my index, but I not sure. I think because it was a foreign based company, I can't remember where it is what kind of made me shy away from it. And it may have been the fact that they did not have options at the time. Not quite certain, but they're up 15% today. And so they are back on my radar. And I'm looking for a relatively short term contract um, compared to what I usually trade for the members of the chat, real quick. Um,
I think we figured out this is a very interesting read.
on
Coin. Remember, we were like, oh, well, at least for me, it was like the earnings were amazing. They were phenomenal. Why did we drop the way that we did? And so the long and short of it seems to be some accounting discrepancies here, not discrepancies, but debate about who actually crypto held at the exchange. And I know a lot of the folks who are on this call
hmm,
own crypto in some form of fashion, and most have a Coinbase account. Like everybody has one in general. Um, but it said the cryptocurrency exchange had shown 291 billion of assets September 30th. At year end, there were 23 billion Total liabilities were once 282 billion. They're off the balance sheet and they want it. And so they're talking about how the shift highlights a lingering issue of who ultimately owns your coins. The off balance sheet treatment suggests that the customers do rather than Coinbase. But it said Coinbase, in its latest disclosure to investors, still says the issues aren't clearly resolved. If Coinbase went bankrupt, the Bitcoins and other tokens held on behalf of the customers could be considered the property of the bankruptcy estate, and such customers could be treated as unsecured creditors.
That's what has happened in every other instance.
Yep. I mean, there's more to dig into it, but that explains a few things for me. Why, with such great earnings, they went kaplooey kaplow. Um, but the balance sheet, yeah, I see that being problematic.
I can't believe, I really cannot believe that that's the first time that discussion has ever come up, because I never even thought of it, but it does make a hell of a lot of sense. And Jet AI is up 45% now this morning. I think I mentioned that to the members of the chat
No,
yesterday when I was
that
rattling
was
off what
yesterday,
shares I was
absolutely.
buying. Hmm.
Well, we're not FOMOing. I said we're not FOMOing. It'll retrace.
No, I think I bought this at the bottom yesterday. I think when I rattled off the shares that I was buying yesterday, I think I mentioned it. I hope so.
I very vividly heard you mention it. Um,
Okay. So
yes,
I
I very
also bought
vividly.
some STEM yesterday. Is up 6%. Sense is up 4.42%. And of course, these are not the explosive numbers that we experienced with those few stocks last week, but this is pretty good movement. Another thing, oh, I wanted to look back at AIFF, see what they're doing. Down 2 more percent, and FPay. I bought more FPay shares near the close yesterday, and they're up just a minimal 1.2%. Something that I wanted to talk to you about, and we got 18 minutes. Um, so I'll shut up after this. But it seems to me that there is a kind of changing of the guards. I don't know how permanent this is, but in the chips sector or the chips industry right now, where the smaller companies are running, and let's see what Nvidia is doing. The bigger, uh, larger cap companies,
It thinks it can. It thinks it
huh?
can. You asked about Nvidia. I said you asked about Nvidia. It thinks it can. I wouldn't rule out a drop. I mean, not a drop, a pop here. Back to at least yesterday's levels because we got as high as 143. Where's the top of that wick? 33. Which is a nice little move. It's printing a ring candle right now, and on the hourly, it looks like it wants to pop above our 21. Let's see what we're looking at on the 4 hour. Still firmly below. I mean, above the moving averages. It looks pretty good. I just don't think that they're gonna. I think with some of the action that we've seen and some of the other chips, I think, and potentially some of the Chips Act and some of the recent commentary, I don't think it runs until earnings, which is next week still, but I don't think it runs until then with a sustainable pop.
So that may be the reason for what I was saying, but I've seen a rotation into, or I've observed the rotation into the smaller cap chip stocks. Like AMD has been pretty stagnant. Um, yeah, I guess I would call it stagnant. But other stocks like NVTS, SMCI, and a few of the other smaller ones are making some significant gains during this period while the bigger players are kind of, I'll call it resting, for lack of a better word. But I wonder if that is something that we'll continue to see where investors are shifting, investors and institutions shifting their funds into newer, more exciting, um, smaller companies with much more potential for growth.
Yeah, you know, I know that I will be putting some of my investing dollars in that space. If we look at SMCI at $9, right? If you look at some of the potential, and this really didn't take super long to pan out. It's not like it took 20 years. You're talking about breakneck moves made over the course of 8 to 12 months in a lot of these. If you were an early adopter, you made out,
Hmm. I know that
which is why Grab was so.
some that we've been looking at for just like the past 3 months have grown 100% in that time. Um, so it is a very exciting
Hmm.
time. That Amazon article that I posted this morning has me thinking about data centers, because my takeaway from it was, oh, we need more data centers, or these major companies can't do what it is that they are planning in terms of cloud storage and so forth. So wanted to look at some of the data centers.
So you realize that so basically where my husband
Mhm.
works, that is all an Amazon data center, and there's a bunch of them floating around here. There's one,
I'm
two,
well aware, but that is
within.
not, that hasn't made Amazon run. That, Amazon is, and
No, 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 it hasn't. But that's more to your point about more data centers coming online. They are absolutely building new centers, obviously privy to that information just because of where it comes from. But they're not the only
of
ones.
course not. And so smaller companies, Applied, for example, is one that we've been trading quite a bit, and it is $10, not even $10. Um, so just because of my nature, I'm looking for and at other companies like that we may want to get invested in. Let me see what my research has produced. I was thinking they're moving into ones with more upside potential. Exactly, Arlissa. That is what I was thinking. I know Kathy Wood did some restructuring, a lot of restructuring actually. Um, and then I read some more stuff about Intel this morning. There's a company, they're selling a division of their company that is not public yet, but it seems like they're selling it for a loss. In any event, the article said that they can use that capital for other ventures. It also says something about them cutting costs. So I like how we are positioned in Nvidia right now. I mean, not Nvidia, I'm sorry, Intel right now. But Applied. So Applied, the $9.60 some odd cent stock. Let me see what else we got. Um, the other thing, and Donald Trump, I tried to find what you were talking about, Natasha. That live interview, I think with Hannity last night.
Uh-huh.
Could not find it. But what I did find was a pre-recorded, probably live replay of the president talking about the power needs and what dig drill. So I think that energy is something, especially the small cap energy companies, something that we should be looking at as well. Let's see what's in the data center supply chain. The obvious ones: QCOM, Samsung.
Are our trusty politicians buying any of this stuff?
I will check in a minute. Can you do me a favor? A major networking company that provides routers, switches, and security solutions. JNPR, please. It's
Okay.
$15, but let's see if we can see
Jupiter Networks. Okay.
mm,
Oh,
Seagate. Oh, maybe it's not $15. No. How much is
no,
it?
it's 3614 pre-market.
Okay.
Um, they had a nice run starting in November, coming back down into the. Oh, I like where they're positioned on the daily, though. Let's
Well,
scan
let me
this a
get
little
over
bit.
there and see what.
And there's a nice. Well, it's not too much on a daily, but there is a gap that needs to fill.
What does the weekly look like, real quick? I want to see if I can get something in that range to the left.
Let me at the weekly. Let's see.
We got 10 minutes. Huh.
I know.
I
Why
have
is it?
no idea what trades I have open. Um, I'm kidding to some extent. Okay, so now I would draw a fib just on that big green candle right there.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I think that would land us around the 50 maybe.
Where do you want it to stop? Like right here, or at the
Well,
top of this
just
wick?
just that one candle. And we are, let me blow this up. Is it wicked at the 50? Put my blind so. Yep, it wicked
Yep.
at the
My,
50.
it's supposed to say my 50 is red. Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. I'm trying to look for a case to include the price action below that big green candle. Uh, hmm. I don't know. I'm gonna put it on my watch list for sure.
So that's this pre-November that we've been seeing as the kind of like the rise of the stock market. So I don't know how you feel about that, but
About, I'm sorry, say it again.
no, just the observation we made the other day that everything pretty much started rising after the election. So all of that stuff below it, I don't know
That's
what's
another
happening.
thing that the
Mhm.
president was talking about last night. How this is up this much and this is, and I'm like, yeah, bro. Let's do it. Cause I just know that we are in a season, especially this early part. We're in a season to make a lot of money, a lot of money, and we will. So
Um, I'm not complaining about my year to date gains.
me either. Me either. We need to get are your accounts signed in and all of that stuff.
uh,
I'm gonna take care of that real quick. Oh no, get back in there.
so
Make
I'm
sure
looking at a
that
few things that seem to be. I don't even think I have a firm up here anywhere. Well, where you at, a firm? Is what
I
I am fully expecting to see. I'm fully expecting to see a pop somewhere here
in a firm.
in a lot of the stuff,
Mm.
and just looking at
Mhm.
the entries and where things are on the chart, and
I
just
have been trying to take. Oh, I was anyway yesterday up 16% on that A-Lab play. I've been trying to think about the time that it's going to take for certain things to occur as a
hmm
factor in the trades. Because I don't think, well, at least my trades, all of them are not designed to pop today or tomorrow. So I just been kind of trying to think about the rollout of things and the impact of things that we're seeing. Um,
I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
okay. I'm gonna be quiet as well for a second and just see where my trades are and stuff.
Alrighty there, I am back. But I think, I think we're going to see some good entry opportunities this morning. Um, Need to be considering some longer term plays. But Leslie is a huge fan of the monthly. I'm not buying anything weekly today. I can tell you that much.
I was just
Um,
thinking about sure. I just rearranging my accounts and trying to see which trades are where, and thinking about your statement about cash as a position. And so, just for reference, my
mhm.
cash position is 28.21%, which I think is fair. I would say probably about
Yeah.
another
And that actually
30.
goes counter to your 50, 30, 20.
I was gonna say I probably have about another 30 to 40 in leaps. So I am kind of proud of myself. Because although it does seem like we trade a lot, we are not living trade to trade.
I think that's an important
I
point to make. Very important point to make.
do too. I think that's one of those things that you learn. Number one, if you don't learn, you're going to have problems. But I think that that's one of those things that you learn with experience is, hey, I always need to have some money for the next trade. If all of this goes bad, and you are a decent trader, you can bring your account back as long as you have some cash. But if you don't have any cash, you got problems.
Then you're nowhere.
You know what I think about too all the time is your boy Sam says you got to be prepared for it all to go to zero, and he tells that story about something, the .com crash or whatever, when he woke up and every trade he had was at zero. And so I often
Well,
think
and
about that after 4 p.m.
I
If I wake up
uh,
tomorrow and somebody has
sent you
said
some.
something and everything is at zero, how am I going to feel? So I'll start asking myself that at
That's
3.
fair and it's very valid.
I think that's huge. I think that every
Well, and it kind
trader,
of what day was that you had to go to on your medical appointment, right? And I was just like, the resurrection of those coin calls that were just gone to hell. And it's like, and I could have closed them, but to me, again, because I was playing with the house money, it didn't matter to me. Ideally, nobody wants their trade to go to zero, but it was just like, if it
and
did.
that, yeah, you can learn a lot. Still, we've been at this for a long time. And we are pretty skilled and experienced, but you can always learn from traders who are more skilled and experienced to you. Because another thing that I infer from our counterpart is that he does not trade with stop losses, because he says, and I've in some of his videos, one of his the most recent one I listened to, like one of his commercials or whatever, about he told a guy, the guy sold the contract because I don't know, but the point that he was making is if you don't believe that the trade is gonna come back, then you sell it. But he's it's apparent that he's not trading with stop losses. And so that has just always been my method, although I don't recommend that for anyone, especially not new traders. And so just I guess driving home the concept of, most importantly, at 3 o'clock, everyone, you should start thinking, if I wake up tomorrow and something has happened, some black swan event, and every one of these trades is at zero, my account is at empty. As a matter of fact, I probably owe the brokerage company a little bit of money. How would I feel? And let that guide you in what profits you take. Seriously. Seriously, seriously. Gotta at least have some money to trade the next day should everything go bad.
1 minute.
Uno momento, as they say. Okay, let me get myself together.
So my mama down there yelling at people. Ah, all right. Mhm. Oh, beautiful.
Damn, that minute went fast. No, I'm kidding. All right, what's moving?
Not enough. Let's see. Apple is doing all right here, but I expected that. So, should I be talking and trading? Um. Oh. Oh. Okay. Let me close some of this. But I think the long and short with the Apple thing is, I saw an article somewhere in Trump's desire to bring back a lot of this manufacturing, and there's speculation that Apple is one of the top candidates for such a thing.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
AMD. Oh, I do still have that. Interesting. So Baidu, I read something about. I gotta find it again. About Baidu's the reason for this decline in Baidu. Rivian Upstart 20 Upstart hundreds, and I don't want to deal with those
And I'm
right
still
now.
sitting in some monthlies for Upstart. What is Nvidia doing? Nvidia is down.
Yeah, that's not really surprising me because
No, it's not. And Apple is not sustaining its little pop, but that's fine. I've got plenty of time on those contracts, though I will be looking to get out of them today and maybe re-enter. It just went negative.
ay, ay, ay.
So this first 15 minutes here.
I'm over here playing hide to trade again. I know I have some SMCI open somewhere. Um, all right, so MU is apparently doing decently this morning. MU. UPS. Not worried there. Watching these Amazon puts, it does the same thing every day and it's irritating. I thought I got irritated enough yesterday and closed it, but apparently not.
Not irritated enough.
Apparently not. Or the trade didn't fill. I tried to buy some AMSC at the close yesterday and it didn't fill, and it is.
I hate when that happens.
I don't like. So what I figured out is I don't want to trade options on SoFi. Um, but for some reason I keep trading options on SoFi. So let's go over here and see if we can get that contract now on SoFi. No, but I seriously would not recommend SoFi for options trading. They don't have level one. And there's some other things like I think rolling, some other things I noticed that they don't have that I like to have. So yesterday it was a $40 417 on AMSC that I'm going to buy right now. AMSC. Trade options.
Uh, I'm buying some more Intel because why not?
So I'm looking to see what the ATR is. $2.23. I have more than enough time, but better more than enough time than not enough. $40.
Mhm.
That's what I want to do.
I am buying. Well, I'm putting in an order to see if I can get filled. Let me replace
Alrighty then.
that. Intel is getting ready to bounce again.
Time is it?
I should probably be paying attention to what everything else is doing. But this kind of goes to the how I thought we would see a nice little drop and pop. Oh, Apple, why are you not being cooperative? That doesn't matter. I need to be over here buying what I'm buying.
I need to find SMCI. I think I
Uh,
know. Which is um I think I'm definitely I read some stuff this morning. I spent the morning reading. Uh so put me in my happy place. But read some stuff on SMCI and I am definitely going to exit the majority of my SMCI positions prior to the 25th.
okay.
Right now, I'm not even seeing any SMCI positions, but so not there. This is ridiculous that I have to look through this many places, look in this many places to try to see where and if I have a trade open. If I'm being
Well, I
honest,
thought we said we was fixing that.
we're working on it. I've given myself to the end of the week.
Okay.
Giving myself to the end of the week. This is insane.
Interesting. PDD is down a little bit, but like I literally. Oh, by the way, MicroStrategy and Coin went back to. But did you see Michael Saylor's? He's doing another capital raise to buy more Bitcoin.
Uh-huh. I
Surprise!
mean, I can't say that I blame the man, really.
Nope. So we have some real interesting action here.
Chicken Oklo put is putting. Amazon is not putting. Amazon.
hmm As expected, so I didn't get my fill. I'm gonna try this again. No, these are the
Okay,
wrong.
so I rolled back my puts on Amazon, it seems. Closer to the money with a closer date.
Okay, so I just bought some Intel 35s for June 18th of 26. Those filled.
Don't appreciate. I'm sorry, repeat that contract again for me.
June 18th, 2026, Intel contracts for the 35 strike.
Okay. I have some Junes. Let me
Clearly,
look
with
at
all that
when.
time, we're not expecting that to hit today, but yeah, anything is possible. Because I think so.
Yeah,
If we
any minute
look at,
now.
yep, basically. Um,
Any
but
minute
I certainly
now.
have plenty of time. So, and I'm holding 30s that don't expire until January 16th, 2026. So this was just I'm building a pretty large position here in Intel.
Same.
And I know
Same.
we had this conversation the other day just about how um what was it, Broadcom, and who was the other one who were interested in buying pieces of
TSM.
TSM. There you go. But how the sum of its parts is worth, wow, just ridiculous money. So, especially with everything going on, it wouldn't wouldn't at all surprise me for them to be acquired in the nearer, or a play for that to occur in the nearer future.
No, I think they've been begging for it for years now. Um,
Hmm.
what is it? Activist investors. I think that they are prime candidates for some activist investor action. I want to take some March SMCI calls. I'm getting, maybe I'll take
Let me
February
see. Where
28th
is it on the
because I'm
chart?
getting out before I'm getting out.
Yeah, I told you. I'm famous for that. Like, I will buy time. I will buy all that. And oh wow, need to redraw my fibs on this one.
So there's basically $2 difference between at the money. So between 60 and 65 on February 28th. Think that I'm gonna take the 60s. Let me
IWM.
see.
I may be. Let's see where these 15 minutes land on IWM. I like it too. I mean, I think it's primed for a nice. What is this? Nobody cares. IWM looks like it's going to have a nice bounce today. Um,
Arlissa is saying, good morning, Antoine. Arlissa is saying go long term on SoFi and then sell covered calls. Hmm. That is admittedly intimidating to me. I'm good at what I'm good at, but I do not sell covered calls. I think if somebody just explained the rationale, like what's supposed to happen, what is my goal, sell covered calls,
to
then I would be
collect
like, oh, okay.
premium.
I know
Hmm.
that I know that the goal is to collect premium, but if I sell covered calls, then I'm trying to sell them at a price that I don't think it'll reach. Is that the deal?
In theory, yes. You want it to always just kind of fall short. Because when
Okay.
it does that, you basically keep the premium.
That makes sense, Arlissa, then, because SoFi has been ranging, and every time I think it's going to get above that $17 mark, if memory serves, it falls back to 14-ish. So that might not be a bad idea there. I've been buying SoFi since IPO. 6.9. Let's see what SMCI is doing. All right. Giving a retrace. I want to buy on this red candle because I'm going to buy some, I think, contracts, $60 for the 28th SMCI.
Well,
AIFF
Tesla's
is,
trying to go.
who is?
Tesla.
Tesla. There was
Trying.
news this morning. Oh, what was the news? I don't know. I think something about AI stuff, not AI, robotics. But I don't trust the first 15 minutes of Tesla. And
Nope.
so is on the hourly is butting up against the 200, or it will be at 366, which is a nice amount of range.
Hmm.
Can't trust it. Give me 2 minutes and let me find myself a snack. I actually ate breakfast this morning, so I wouldn't be on here talking about how hungry I was, and I'm hungry again. So give me two
I'm mad that
minutes.
you're calling that breakfast, but all right.
What? Not the 15 Hershey Kisses, the other stuff. I'll be right
The
back.
ham sandwich. Okay. All right. Okay. I accept. Let's look at a firm. Very interesting action here. Don't know why it's down. I believe it was up yesterday. It was. I think what we're seeing here is just kind of like that balancing. I think it goes next. Ooh, I think it probably goes next week. It probably turns around later today or tomorrow. Just not convinced that it's done dropping for the moment, but
Hmm. No, there's a lot of room. About $6. You talking about a firm, right?
hmm.
Let me see. Ooh, 240. A lot of room between, if you look at the 4 hour, a lot of room down to the 50, and on the hourly, it's the spice basically the same price level, but it's the 200. And so I think we may go to 72-ish. Um, I'll keep an eye on it because I am in some a firm, as you probably may know.
Hmm.
AIFF is trying to give us another chance. I don't think that the impact of a connect partner agreement with Nvidia is something that just goes like, some news that the impact just wanes quickly and is not more sustained. But I guess it kind of depends on at this point. So the telehealth companies are running again. I guess it kind of depends on at this point how Nvidia is viewed. And I've been of the opinion that there was a shift, and one day they were kicking AMD's back in about how they could not compete with Nvidia, and then it kind of shifted, and Nvidia started taking the beating in the press.
I would say that's fair. Um, but I feel like NVIDIA is almost too big to fail.
Hmm, I
I
think
mean,
so.
it's like
I don't think they have to fail to not continue to grow at the pace that they have. And I also think they could take a, let me see, about it like a big reset kind of. We've seen those.
hmm.
And my hourly chart is definitely not my hourly, my daily chart is definitely saying that it's time for let me draw a fib here real quick. We just bounced off the 886. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna share my chart in a minute because I know I'm just talking. Just talking. Let me just show you this right fast. Um, what I'm seeing on Nvidia. There we go. So with this bearish fib, this is bounced off the 886. Let's see what the daily stochastic is doing. And so to me, that's saying we could go back to the 50 around 130. Um, Definitely 135 is in play.
Hmm.
What's Tesla
Off
doing?
to the races. Off here.
Is that fib level though? Not the fib level, the
Tesla
200.
is up $10.43. It's sitting
Let's see
at three. Now, if we can get Nvidia to start printing some
how it
green
handles
candles,
this
that would be.
200.
Hmm.
Let me see how Tesla handles this see how Tesla handles this 200 moving average. On the hourly chart is my concern. But I think I had some 380s that I've gotten rid of. Or I might have been looking at 380s and didn't buy them. I'm waiting for Thursday, trying to follow my own rules. So there was no fast grab snacks available, so I'm having coffee.
No.
No Tostitos, no, that kind of thing. Nice healthy breakfasts. All
I
right,
mean, I
what
had
else?
chicken
Let me take
wings,
a look
so
at this. I mean, I wouldn't be complaining about chicken wings for sure. We
mm,
have Intel giving back its gains from yesterday, but
mhm.
probably just reaching for that 200 moving average. What's this news say? Intel reportedly in talks to sell, that's what it was, Altera, to sell its stake in Altera. Evercore raised its price target on Intel to 27.
Yeah, I think some of this is just, again, the roll. None of this really makes any sense. I mean, we're coming back to some of the important moving averages and things like that, but I think that we're fine here. Like,
As long
and
as
when you
everything holds the moving averages, I'm good.
tell you this is still the word I want to use. I think it's just theft of premium.
Basically, it's a
Theft
part
of
of the
premium.
routine.
Just like if you look at Fortinet, hmm, um, look at Zscaler. Zscaler has pretty much day this week. If you grab is coming to a good point. Um,
This is on
look at Shop.
the
Shop did a
this
whole
is
round trip yesterday too.
this is one of the alerts for today, and so I'm watching to see if this red candle is going to be my entry or not. But it seems that we're at the 886. We got our wick forming, and so let me put a flag here to remember that. What's team doing? Hmm. Mm, what else was on there? I gotta go look. I don't remember. You said shop. What's shop doing? Oh yeah, everything is just
The same
trading
thing it
back
did
to moving
yesterday.
average.
Hmm.
So we'll get hopefully a pop that takes out yesterday's high, and then we know what we'll do the next day. Um,
And then off to the races, just like yep,
yeah, everything is starting to give
just
back
like that.
its gains from this morning. Kind of expect
But I think we're getting ready to see that turn around.
team.
Let's try. Like it's taking a little longer than I would have anticipated, but I think we're getting there.
Upwork is one that I called. I like this. I like this chart still. Upstart. I like the way that looks.
Hmm. Like I said, I'm very undeterred by what happened with Intel. I'm actually so it dropped and I like how am I up 1% on the calls I just bought?
Yeah, I haven't even looked over there
Um,
because we have so much time on those contracts that kind of the least of my concerns right now. But wow, that was I scrolled through red for two more than 2/3 of the list.
yeah, but it's turning.
AMT was not on there.
I wonder if Apple can get back to its high of the day, which was about 246. I am still holding my GS from yesterday. It's down. So I'm not down overall, but I ended the day up 43%, and now I'm only up 9.7, which is fine. I bought time.
I've been scrolling through this list for 5 minutes. This is ridiculous. I think it's probably approaching 300 companies at this point. But MRUS was one that we called yesterday. It's doing well this morning after declining, after bouncing off the 200 like everything else we've been seeing. Applied, I'm pretty sure you guys have a contract for. It is not semiconductor, data center focused. I should probably be looking at that instead of SMCI at this point. Nothing really exciting. Some penny stocks moving. Hims is on the move again for like that is significant. Hmm. Got 2 days of consolidation with a slight decline, and now we have a new all-time high, I think. Yep. 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 Damn. That's why I like buying time and just holding my contracts. I appreciate and understand the take your profit when you see it thing, but I hopped out of this and now I'm like, shoot, whatever.
I mean, it all depends.
Mm-hmm.
Like those coin contracts that I held for far longer than I should have. It's like, well,
That goes back to what your boy was saying though about I'm not gonna promote that. I'm not gonna promote that because he may have the audience for that message, but I don't think I want to be telling people to not trade with stop losses and trade with the oh, let me think about that. Trade with the intention of it going to zero to the top
well,
of
here's the thing, right? So if you have, and this is how I would look at that, if you have $1,000 in your trade account and you would be devastated to wake up and not have, to lose more than 10% of it, then you shouldn't be playing with more than 10% of it anyway.
So that's what I was thinking. If kind of it's along the lines of what I was thinking is that it's really just based in the rest of your risk management strategy, whether or not you can do that.
Hmm.
Because if a trade is only 2% of your account, then theoretically you can afford for it to go to zero several times. Yeah. Hmm. That's interesting. Something I have to
I mean,
think
that's
about.
just how I like to approach it.
And but I
But
like
it's
to
to me, it's no different if I have $10,000 in my savings account and I don't like it to ever be under 7,500, I'm not going to go and spend more than $2,500 on something at one point unless it's an absolute necessity.
absolutely.
Like
But
that's what you would do in real life. Why would you not apply that to your trading?
so for the purpose of, or I should say, but for okay, TIVC, but for the purpose of like the trainings and stuff that I'm developing, I want to nail down some numbers. Because I kind of do trade that way, if I'm being honest. Damn it. I know I mentioned Devon Energy. I don't know if I gave a
One of our one of our politicians was purchasing, or I think maybe multiple politicians were purchasing Devon.
yeah, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene and somebody else, but I don't know if I don't know if I gave a contract on it or not. Raises price target on Devon Energy to 49 from 47. Woohoo! Um,
I don't know what's going on with the analysts sometimes because sometimes this crap makes absolutely no sense.
I talk about
Like a
that.
stock is trading at 350 and you're going to raise it, raise their price target from 250 to 270 when it's trading $80 higher than that at present. Like it just
Exactly.
doesn't
Or
make a lot
when
of
the stock reports and it shoots to a price and then they raise it to within $2 of that price. Like, we could do without this. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
sense.
Uh, I
Basically.
mean, but it's one of those jobs that you just, it's almost like a government job, which is an interesting thought. Oh, speaking of jobs, there is an article for adolescents in our adolescent area, the Millionaire by 30 area of the Mighty Network, that just informs them about some of the potential careers in finance. some of the ways that they can benefit from learning this information, just to kind of get them thinking, um, opening their horizons, I'll say. So I think that's a pretty good read for any 16 to 20-year-old, maybe even older. SMCI? Okay. Let me know if you want to share some charts, Natasha, because I'm just like, it's almost like I'm here by
So no,
myself.
no, I'm just not looking at anything in particular, just this action here. I mean, we can keep looking at what's going on.
Remember,
Uh,
we talked about Carvana this morning, I think.
oh, yeah. We did talk about Carvana. Let me get that up.
Bah, 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 bah. Let me see what sector performance is looking like really quick.
What is happening here? We don't do that. Fortunate looks like it's getting ready to bounce. Well, Tesla's just doing its thing. Carvana. Guess we should throw a Jesus this thing. All right. Oh, okay. You can see me here. Um, uh, Carvana to me. So if we look where it's come from, we'll do it on the monthly from here to here. Carvana has had some really nice movement over the last couple of months. And what Leslie and I were talking about, just matter of opinion, I guess, and just some of the things that are going on fundamentally. Like, we're hearing about consumer debt being at all-time highs. We're hearing about defaults, hearing about the car industry and what people are doing. Um, in theory, Carvana could go much higher, but we've also been noticing what we've also been noticing is where are my moving averages? Must be above them. Oh no, there they go. So what we've been noticing with the economy as a whole, right? Not just Carvana, is when we talked about those really light consumer spending numbers the other day and things like that. Um, it looks like it's primed to run, but is that the reality of what's going to happen here? And I feel like Carvana could absolutely drop back to the 200 if it doesn't make earnings. If it has bad earnings, I definitely feel like it can and drop back to the 200.
Now, I just made the assumption based on, and we didn't get into great detail, but this morning you said about repossessions and
Well,
maybe
yeah, that
to,
goes back to the economy. People's cars are getting repossessed. Like, didn't I just have to help somebody
I'm
get their
repeating that
car back
that's
the
what
other
you
day?
said this morning. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so but you have two things, right? So not just repossessions, but you also have people who are waiting on the sidelines, who aren't purchasing new cars because the interest rates are so high. So they're if they don't have buyers for the cars, and the buyers that they did have are defaulting on their loans, where does that leave a company like Carvana?
I was trying to make the point that at a high on the brink of earnings, it leaves them with a significant retrace lots of times
Hmm.
in
Back to the
response to
200.
earnings. So I'm predicting that they will probably drop again at earnings based on those things that you pointed out to me this morning.
Now, when we talked about, well, okay. So, do we think that it's going to be a sustained drop, or do you think that because I don't see this getting any better? I took a call with a mortgage lender the other day, and that's another thing too that I think is affecting. So while we're talking about cars here, you also, and I was talking about mortgages. If you go out and buy a new car today at 22% interest, that's going to affect your debt to income ratios when it comes to purchasing a home, which would sideline quite a few buyers. And then we're also in the inventory shortages that we have, right? So with the price of homes going up, with very little inventory coming to market and all of this money on the sidelines, there are people who are deferring purchases that otherwise would have. But I also think that, yeah, I think it's like a double-edged sword for Carvana. I'm not going to go take $1,000 car note if I'm trying to buy a $500,000 home. And the barrier of entry in terms of pricing of a home has gone up significantly because the interest rates are up.
So Russell had introduced me to this idea of a cup and handle, and I would think that that was somewhere in this area. And I was like, well, Russell, that's what a cup and handle is. Then it would have to come down, right? And so it did this.
Right.
I know we traded it, whatever. We were in this trade. So we traded it down. Does this the make the rest of the handle? I know that the 886 is
I don't
right
trade
there,
cup
and
and
so my
handles.
expectation would be maybe we get one of those crazy wicks up to there and then we trade off. But there's a lot of bearish signals here for me.
Now, I don't think I will be lottoing it. Well, let's take a when I looked at the options, like for anything within a decent range, the options, even on the puts way far out the money, were ridiculous.
And it probably has
So,
insane IV, I would imagine.
hmm I
Oh,
mean,
sugar honey
the
iced.
250 put is $5.
Oh, 250. Wait, hold
Yeah,
on.
the 250 put on Carvana is $5.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
Yeah,
No. We won't go ahead.
yeah.
Um,
So, for as much as I believe, like I don't see it being
the risk reward is not there, I think.
absolutely not with premiums like that. Nope.
Let's see what we got. All right, so we are at the 886. I can eye this stuff. Like this is I don't know if asked what's your favorite um technical analysis indicator or tool, I would probably say a fib. I would probably yeah, I'm thinking that's what it would be. Now there are some nuances, which time frame to look at it on, um, and how I guess how to view each level. But it is for me indispensable. And there are replacement tools, substitute tools, but they just take longer and are more clunky. And I find that the Fibonacci is it's a less than a second way of covering a whole lot of ground with data. SMCI. I'm waiting for a call entry, but it looks like I may need to be more cautious on SMCI. Let's see if I can get some January 2026 applied contracts. Is that the housekeeper?
No, this was like it is 17 degrees outside. I think those are the lawn mowers.
Oh, the
Like, what
probably
is
the
going
snow
on here?
blowers, I would think.
there's no snow.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, there's no snow.
Hmm.
But you know that we don't like our
Oh.
yard maintenance. They do it for us. Let me see. Mm-hmm.
I am looking for applied
I can't.
leaps right
That
now.
project must be behind me.
I
Huh?
just wanted to let you and everybody else know that I'm quiet because I'm looking at applied leaps right now, trying to find something.
How about ANET? Like earnings weren't
I had a
terrible.
put. The funny thing is, I had a put on ANET from the weekend, but I didn't put it in yesterday or today. I said to wait until it got to 108. I think it got much higher than that on that wick off earnings. And let me see what the contract was just in case we do still want to entertain it. It
Um, Probably not. And it didn't. I wouldn't say they didn't do well, but they didn't really do well.
I've been reading things, girl. I can't remember, I can't remember the details of what I've read a lot of times, but I know I've been reading some stuff that kind of justified why this happened. And so I had a 95 put for March. Let me see where it is. This is my applied entry actually. ANET. Hmm. It is like hunting that 7-9 fib level down. I'm gonna go ahead, I think. Let me look. Because there was more to my analysis than that. So let's see. You been to the 88?
I didn't get into your coin puts yesterday, but they should be putting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Hmm.
All the China stuff seems like none of this makes any sense. Let's see what Baba earnings does,
I
but
honestly don't even want to look at Baidu at this point because I've kind of forgotten about it up until you just said Chinese companies.
I'm sorry.
um, I mean, I will look at it in a minute. But I think we missed the boat on ANET because, like I said, it was a 95, and we've already been to six.
Yeah,
Basically, been to the 886. I think.
I think we missed the boat there, but what I'm okay, Tesla. Just trying to be strong, trying to be strong. Um, but we made so much money on it going up, like, and that's just kind of how I feel about it. Like,
True. This was the entry.
I sure got mine. It was like, I sure got mine. I'm not even upset about
We
it.
had 110s and it went to 120. Yep, it went to 120.
Remember, we got those, yeah, we got the 110s when it was like 103. We got 110s, 115s, and 120s. We hit all three of those layers,
It's been some there.
like
These have been
ridiculousness.
some very exciting times, to say the least.
So it would have been nice to catch the put, and but I'm also kind of like, well,
Oh, I need to buy that applied contract. See how easily you can distract me. Applied. I think that's the entry.
what are you eating,
Hershey's Kisses.
girl?
Proudly, I have
You might
like
eat on your
8 more
inventory.
bags. So, um, hmm.
I guess whatever they was outside doing, they finished. If they came to do the whole neighborhood,
So I'm going to wait on applied based on. Hmm. Yeah, I'll wait on that
I
one.
don't know. And it looks like it might have a little bit more room to go down.
Who ain't that?
Hmm.
It could go. I mean, the 7.9 is not enough range for me, but it could go to the 8.86, which is I think like $5 away.
Yeah, it's not bad if you can. Let's see, what are they?
Intel looks like it's trying to go to the 200.
Let's
Damn,
see.
look, I called Oklo puts yesterday. Um, and this down 8% today. I got out yesterday. Taking too long for me.
Uh, well, and definitely been on the other side of that. I don't know. You said you think that Intel wants to 200, maybe.
One, I think it was on a
I
15-minute, which is not terrible for Intel.
was gonna say, it's about a whole other dollar drop. I don't know. I feel like it on the hourly.
I don't know about a firm.
Yeah, it's a something. And that it is. But I do think long term, like where are we at?
Mm-mm-hmm.
It could drop back to the 200. Where are we at on the 15? So yeah, it has lost all of its moving averages on the 15.
And so next is Baidu. Okay. I think yesterday I was saying if Baidu does not hold this level, I'm getting out. So that's important. But so like you're looking at
I took
15.
it off my watch list. I'm gonna go look what it's doing.
So I would think that whatever that was we were just talking about is gonna do the same thing on
Ouch.
the hourly next.
I guess that would be the confirmation, but
I
yeah.
don't shit. I can't wait that long for confirmation. That's
Well,
$6 more.
yeah.
So I'm going to exit because I'm in a firm. I was being greedy, if I'm being honest, because we had. I think did they report? Is that the one that ran up?
Yes.
Yeah, and then I decided I was going to jump back in after I took profit, and that's what you get when you do that. Is you get to give some of your profit back. But like I said yesterday,
But only
you don't
some.
have to sit here and take the beating. You can close the trade. And so I have March and April.
I just like this action here for me. I don't like to trade this chop because that's what the market is. And this is back to what we were saying about this monthly option expiration. I know you're about tired of hearing me talk about it, but the chop, this is where you'll lose your premium. There's nothing really going on here. These aren't. I mean, there's some things that are legitimately falling pretty well, but it's just chop. You're not getting sustained move. I think we'll see some better sustainability towards the end of the day. I think we have a repeat of what we saw yesterday, where was all this uncertainty. It started a little earlier today. Yesterday it didn't start till about 12:30 ish. Today we're dealing with it in the morning. I wouldn't put past any of this for a nice mid afternoon pop.
I wanted to make an announcement. I have closed a lot of my calls, and so that should now allow you to thank me later because now the stocks will run. Now that I've closed my calls, you guys will experience the run up. That's how it works. That's how it works.
Nah, I just think there's nothing we can do right now that you can catch some scalps. and you can catch some good entries if you're willing to hold. But um, I
I
don't
have
know.
no
Right now,
desire to be sitting in this stuff. If it's gonna go to the 200 moving average on the hourly, I have no desire to sit through any of that. So that's why I'm exiting. I see a lot of stuff that looks like that's what's about to happen. And I like high delta, so that's not gonna be good. Custom strategy. I want to buy a call on SMCI. I missed my entry, but it's still close enough. All right, let's do applied first since I'm here.
what is your? Let's
I
see.
said, I'm going to do
What?
applied first since I'm here. I'm looking at a January 2026 $15 call on applied. That is really cheap.
Oh, dang.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
it
When you
gave
can
you a
get a
nice little entry.
$10 January 2026 call for about $3.50, or you could get the 15 for about $2.25. Hmm. I think I do want to add some more longer term stuff to my portfolio. And so I'm going to go with those. And then I don't really have to worry about what SM. I'm sorry. I'm talking about applied. I was about to say, wait a minute. I'm getting out of SMCI on the 24th. Applied. So after I get this applied contract, then I can look at SMCI if you haven't done it already.
Yeah, I see where on the 15 minute you got all the way down to, and you missed your entry on the 15 there, but SMCI did exactly what you would have expected it to do this morning with everything. It went back to the 21 and right back up.
See, my thing is I have to. Oh, wait a minute. What did I buy? How did that? Hold on. That must be a huge spread because I just click market order most of the time and I almost got caught out there. Unless bar chart is just that wrong.
What contract are
I
you
was
looking at?
getting the January 2026 15s. Um,
On applied?
mm-hmm. And maybe I was looking at 2027. Let me just be sure. Call. No, no. What? Yeah, I was looking at the wrong. It's the spread.
Oh, there's a huge spread.
Yeah,
Yeah, the spread's over a
not gonna be
dollar.
doing that. Almost got caught in that. So I'm gonna just buy the tens because it's basically the same price. And um yeah, the spread is I would call that more reasonable. Hmm. SMCI and then no SMCI.
I mean, SMCI could go to 70.
Mm, Now let's get back to the contracts.
So I think at 10:30 we see a little bit of a direction, and I think they're trying to trap people. 'Cause there's no way to really play in this unless you're
And
scalping.
what SMCI? Oh, this
No, this
market.
yeah, this market, and I think this is again right. Like I bought those extra Intel contracts on, and there was a little bit more drawdown. They are now up 3%, but unless you're buying something further out, like a leap, this is not what I. This is not ideal. Shop is
I want
so
some
SC.
228s. Like a 6570. This is one of those scenarios where I should just go to.
You're talking about on
Mm-hmm.
SMCI? Yeah, because I think in a little bit here, I think you see, well, and we're approaching this 10:30. It has been remarkably strong. SMCI, like it has been raging, as you
I
well
can't
know.
believe I missed the entry by that many candles because I know what the entry looks like. And I looked at it and was like, let me see if it's going to continue. I can't believe I missed that entry by, I don't know, 6, 7 candles.
Mm,
But
it
it
happens.
does often. Often. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to chance it again. Uh, options. So far this morning, I think I have entered just 2 different tickers.
Yeah, the only new thing I bought today was some more Intel.
Oh, 570.
May buy some. I may buy some Avgo calls for next week.
Why would I put
It seems to run in sympathy with Nvidia, and Nvidia has earnings next week, so I do expect um, that we'll get a little bit of a pop there. But Avgo earnings aren't even until the following week. But like I said, LRCX just went positive, which has been raging. We made plenty of money on that. Um, but we'll see what 10:30 holds.
I think they got okay, that's reasonable. I'm buying SMCI February 28th 65s and I'm gonna get a 60 probably. Or a 70 for the following week. But I don't see any reason to buy that far out, honestly.
No, and especially if you are, I know why you're buying. We're buying based on some A, the chart, but B, the fundamentals. If it's gonna go, it's gonna go.
So do you agree that I think the 28th is more than enough because I hope to be able to sell some and just keep one to see how that deadline goes?
Oh, you're pulling in Natasha.
Mhm. Well, I
Oh,
mean, that's
I
is
like that.
you didn't invent the
I like that very
strategy,
much,
but
Leslie.
that's yes, that's what I'm doing. Um
I like it very much.
March.
Very, very
No, I
much.
don't want to go to March 21st. I'm so used to buying what do you call it?
I
Monthlies.
don't know.
Monthly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my brain just goes there. So let me just double check because I was 80% certain that I already had some SMCI open over here. Uh,
Did you close those yesterday though?
we about to see.
Because I know you were up really well yesterday morning, and part of that was SMCI running like it stole something.
It yeah, yes, maybe that's what happened because I'm like, no, I know that it was. Oh, okay. Is that what I just bought? That's what I just bought. Upstart. No, it's not in there. This playing damn find the trades is.
Well, we're not going to have this problem next week, right? Because we agreed that you are going to, yep,
It
you're going
honestly
to
depends
consolidate
on
accounts.
how difficult Fidelity makes that. It's very easy on E Trade, but Fidelity is a more clunky. Um,
And see, I think, you know how I feel. Like, I feel like the opposite is true. But
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because the platform, the version of the platform you're using, like I've never gotten into Thinkorswim or any of them more. I just sign in and go click trade in the menu. Um,
that's exactly what I do too.
mm, hmm, that's that California stuff.
Nah, I know it's easy for me to find my options chains and do my executions and do my close orders,
Now, that's
and
the one thing that they
that is
do
what.
have over E-Trade, in my opinion, is that they give you right there in your order the data on open interest, IV, whereas E-Trade does not.
Hmm.
So that is one.
Oh, Nvidia just went positive. Let's see if it can get some traction.
Um,
If it does, we go, 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 go.
what happened that Hims went from $58 to 70? I really need to know. Let's see.
That's a good question.
It has acquired something. I'm waiting for it to be acquired, and it's out here acquiring stuff.
Do you know what I read somewhere though? Which doesn't really relate to hims or hers. But it was something I was reading this morning. I don't remember what the news source is, but if they tariff um, medications from other countries, I think what is it? Lilly's competition for the weight loss drug will be much more expensive than Lilly's.
Mm. So that might, if I remember correctly, I have seen some purchasing of, okay, I'm in Upwork, so this is positive. I've seen some purchasing by politicians of that, and that was one of those things that I'm like, oh, that's boring. I don't even care. But let me just go confirm because
I don't generally do. The last time I fooled with, oh yeah, Hims acquires Tribe Labs, expanding its into in-home testing. Okay.
which is damn. Wait a minute now. See, hmm, it's still cheap. And
It is. I think that 100 plus.
huh. Yeah, I'm gonna do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. What's the other one called? Teledoc is super cheap, which is strange because I know that Teledoc is older than Hims and Hers, but they're expanding and they are innovative. So, but Teledoc is only like $10. Could be up. Where is the Lily? I want to DoorDash something, but when I DoorDash stuff, I don't eat it.
We had yes, we had that conversation here yesterday. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, that's right. We did.
Hmm.
Hungry. Um, LLY. Now I'm not seeing it. How far back am I? I'm only at January 27th.
What are you looking at, or for?
Politician trading to see if I'm imagining the fact that I saw some buying on Lily.
Mm, I don't know. I think the last time I really fiddled with like pharmaceutical companies was back when COVID hit and we were banging mRNA and all that stuff out.
Gilbert Cisneros. Regeneron sell J&J buy. Hey, I've seen this. I want to sort these by transaction type. Hmm. It's a shame that I can't sort these, but I can do this.
So interesting. Let's see. You already entered your SMCI.
I entered one and then it started to pull back. And so I'm
Mm.
gonna miss it again, basically on my second entry. It's probably what's gonna happen. Because I'm down this rabbit hole now. So
Well, I'll let
yes,
you know.
okay, I
How
found
about
it. January 21st, 2025. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's see if anybody smarter than her is doing something else with more money. Uh, hmm. Now let me look at the chart. LLY. So she spent minimally, under $8,000 worth of something. When the hell did Eli Lilly become
Plus
$867?
$8,000. It's $800 stock. So either she bought some contracts or just a
Nah,
little
if
bit
she
of.
bought contracts, it would tell me she bought contracts.
Oh, okay.
Huh. I see the upside. I do. I can't lie. They beat earnings 13.53 billion. I can definitely see the upside. What's the high of this candle? 880, 350. Hmm. Let me just see. Now I'm curious to know what the weeklies look like.
For Eli Lilly.
Yeah,
Hmm.
what's the timeline or time frame you think on what you just talked about?
It didn't give one, but if I had to kind of make an assessment, I would say probably this April 2nd date that they've given everything else.
Okay. So,
I mean, it's the one thing that would make some sense, right? Like, not that they are known for making the most sense, but I don't know why it would get its own separate deadline.
I could see it getting to 880 really quickly though. 950, that's crazy. Uh Looking to see if there's
Oh well, it just moved $10 today. This thing opened down. It's in my list, so it's on the move. It's already at 867 ish, 868.
hmm. Of course you know the contracts are
Ridiculous.
uh-huh. So I'm trying to work within those constraints. um won't be buying time. April's are so in April 900 is 26, $27. Eh,
That's actually not horrible, but I
it's
think
not, but
that's
I'm not tying up that much money for that much time. Um, that would be something that I would do for like to hold for a week or so because something is going to pop, or maybe 2 weeks. But April 2nd is not to me worth. I could do a lot with that $2,700 in that time. I think.
oh yeah, shit, you could quadruple that.
37950. But I have to get the hell out of here because there is not the contract that I want at my price by a long shot. 321.25, 940 for
You
565.
think that's too far?
Hmm.
Oh, I think that's too far. What do their spreads look like?
Spread is not bad. You think what's too far? The date?
The strike.
Oh, why? It has a $55 a week ATR.
I've just seen some strange things with Lily.
Uh,
It'll eat your premium.
hmm. IV is low. Where'd that go?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, that's the most. It's got time on it. It's got 4 weeks, and that's about what I'm comfortable spending. The delta is 16 cent. Uh, hmm, 870. I know it's the way I choose to look for the contracts, but I just refuse to do it another way most of the time. My ideal contract would be this 880, but it's $2,200 and I'm just not doing that. 3 7, nope. Huh. Oh well.
Yeah, I would say also consider. You said you don't like trading this kind of stuff, so I wouldn't start now.
I don't like trading it, but there's a catalyst, and I looked at the chart, and so I got squirrel brain. Like, oh, a chart levels. So and then you got a news catalyst, so there's no rationale.
Yeah, I think I don't think you. By the way, so I've been like watching your SMCI. I don't know. It seems. Eh, I would let this 15-minute candle close, but this might be your other
I
entry.
think you might be right. Um,
See, two heads are better than
yes,
one.
because I listen. I forgot all about SMCI, but I think this is it. I would like to get, and it doesn't look like I'm going to get. So let me just go ahead, mosey on over here, and buy that other contract because I think that's a better entry than the first one. Maybe trade. Are you in SMCI already?
I am not. Remember we had this conversation yesterday.
Hmm. You over there like so I was just wondering if you already had.
Mm-mm. No, but hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, they're actually not horrible.
No, not bad.
I didn't even look at the option chain until just now. Mm, not horrible, not horrible. And it tends to run overnight. I may get in with you. I may, but I will be buying probably the March 7th rather than the.
February 28th.
Uh huh.
Now that
And
kid,
I think that we just
they're not
kind
much
of.
more expensive than the
Mm-mm.
28th.
Nope. And we like to have these feverish pops, so I would probably swing. I probably won't buy that until the end of the day and probably just swing it. Now, if I was able to get that entry 4 candles ago, 5 candles ago, I might have bought it then. But
Is that's the ideal. Um, but I have much less patience than most people on the planet, so got that out the way. Knocking out my to-do list.
knocking out your to-do list, yeah, I think
God
it's
darn it, I'm not gonna
what.
curse. Jet AI, I'm just hoping that I bought shares yesterday. That's my recollection, but sometimes that's wishful thinking. Let me just search the chat and see if I mentioned it to them. JTAI. You know what I'm curious about? Do you know anybody that has, and this is completely unrelated to anything that we're supposed to be doing here, but do you know anyone that has that eSIM thing actually working?
Actually working. I mean, I know, like just using their phone on an eSIM, or you using more than one phone number in an
Using more
eSIM.
than one phone number.
I don't. I don't think so, but I will ask Autumn because I'm pretty sure the little what is he, Turkish or something like that? He travels pretty frequently, and they had to do something with his phone. Autumn's like the tech support too.
Mm. Oh, I like apping from here. Um,
I like a lot of things from here. I'm just not so convinced that we don't have a little bit more of a wild ride. Um, as we head into the.
mm, 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 mm.
I hate these everyone tags. Like, wait a minute, who is this tagging me or mentioning me in a comment? And it's just like I'll tag everyone
That's why I think I deleted myself from one of those groups just based on the constant tagging everyone.
because I was just like, wait a minute, who? Like, I don't even know this person. Like, um,
Hannah.
oh, scam likely. I don't have time for that right now either. All right, I think we see a little bounce from here. See if we can sustain it. Um, what is the
Are we
VIX?
about to give back the gains? Yes, it seems. It seems. Now this could just be um we traded into these moving averages and then we're going to continue up. Yeah, that's kind of looking like what's going on. How far is questionable. Um, but this is promising here. Let's see what.
August, like a 30-point range on the indices. I believe we do get a nice pop. I do, I do, I do, I do, I do.
That looks. Huh. Um, I just feel like okay. Let's look at Upstart. I'm about to say I just feel like there's something other important trades that we should be looking at, but Upstart is one.
But we're already so
Oh,
I don't know who took Upstart with us, but Upstart and Shop and um, PDD, which is down
so
2.82%, which is
I'm not
fine.
in for some reason. I'm not in PDD at all. But we'll see. Is it going to go lower? Say definitely want to watch.
Intel appears to be trying to climb back, which again, those contracts are so far out. For me, it's just a matter of when to buy some more and which what is my next layer to buy. That's it.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Um,
Let me just take a look. And
but I did just buy my next layer.
I
I
know
bought that
I
this
didn't
morning.
though. I did not. Um. hmm I'm gonna have ice cream. I'm thinking of all the things like what could I
Ice
just
cream.
grab real quick? Ice cream. So confident that uh, uh hmm.
Looks like we're
I
trying to see some
feel like if
move
I wait here, I'm gonna regret it. But that also that I'm gonna wait here on Intel.
on
On Intel.
on Intel.
Oh, AMD
Yeah, I
finally
think you
decided
might get
to do a little something.
another good entry. Huh?
AMD finally decided to try to do a little something. Um. Okay. Let's see why. I need to check on MU for the mastermind. I can't remember the dates, but let me check. MU March 21st, 95. See, I don't feel like watching. Lam Research unveils two new chip making tools for AI chips. Hmm. I don't feel like watching
Well, they can't
MU.
keep it.
So
Uh huh.
huh? My recommendation would be get out.
No,
It's
go ahead. What were you saying?
a $95 March. Or I would say set a trail and stop. That's my recommendation.
Mm. MU moves way
I
too
remember
slow for
back
me.
in the day, people were selling whole courses on how to set a stop loss. Like, that was crazy times.
I
Crazy
remember that. I
times.
remember that.
Crazy times, man. Set a trailing stop on MU, please. Oh my goodness. All right.
This market today is like watching paint dry.
Hmm.
There's really nothing
It's
notable
Wednesday
happening
though.
here.
I feel like Wednesday is flat a lot.
Oof.
AIFF. And they did or did not have options. I don't think they had options.
Uh, Not last time we looked.
um, I'm just laughing at something that CJ said. I looked at this picture and I was like, "Oh, what filter is that?" It reminded me of a conversation that CJ and I had. And no, they still
You
do
know
not.
what? Where is CJ? I haven't heard any of his antics in the last several days.
Probably in
The last
somebody
time I
else's
heard
chat.
him take a
You know
UPS
what,
call.
CJ? You know he gets around, or he
Just a
might
little.
just be busy. SMCI. He'll probably be in training tonight. DVN, we really missed because I knew about that yesterday. Hymns, if you held hymns now, what some people are good at is holding contracts. So if anybody's still holding hymns, that's great. But I have to balance that with the knowledge and the statistic that traders sell winning contracts much more quickly than they sell losing contracts. And so I don't know if that makes it better or not, but MRUS. For some reason I feel like I got an MRUS yesterday.
I know we talked about it. I don't know if you actually purchased any.
I was gonna say, and I really don't feel like looking. I'm weak. I need food.
Girl, right. Because you need another sandwich and to stop smelling paint fumes.
Carvana. Carvana. Yeah, everything is doing the same thing, and it is very boring, like you said. And let's look at what
No,
Bitcoin
no.
is
I
doing.
absolutely think we see a nice little pop at some point, and then we do this again. I don't think it's prudent to waste premium.
Hmm. Um, um, um. It's almost time. It's 10:53.
It is 10:53, ma'am.
Oh, great! I can stop complaining about being hungry in a minute. I'm gonna make some pancakes.
How did I know you were going to say that?
I have
Are
batter
you going to
left
make two
over from
pieces of bacon
yesterday,
over
so
bread?
it just makes it quick and painless. Um, okay, XRP, hold on now. This is convincing on the hourly. Yeah, what is wrong with my charts? Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with your charts.
It was the mouse wasn't moving anything for some reason.
Mm.
So I want to look just peek at if there's any shares that are at a good price right this minute. Let's sort this way. That's right.
Mm,
How did I get 51?
probably just being fast.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not
Um,
mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Now STEM I know I bought yesterday. I also bought this one yesterday. And this one. Somebody I can't remember. Oh wait, that chart. I like that. That's an ideal setup. That doesn't mean it's gonna go well, or it's going to do what it looks like it's going to do. But it is a beautiful setup now. Y'all finally getting to see how silly I really am. Um, so I bought this. Somebody bought into this Nvidia or something happened that um made this kind of stand out to me, but I can't remember what it was. I want to re-justify it to myself unless you have something else that you want to do with the last 4 minutes.
nope, re-justify away, ma'am. We're gonna watch some more paint dry here.
Okay, look at no, wait a minute now. So on a quarterly basis, it looks fair. Um, I would love to hear this story. The story of these three candles.
And with
Love to hear that
oh,
story. Um, okay, let's see if I can find who did what. Hmm. Acquisition? Was it the acquisition? Think so.
this tiny little, tiny little bit of range, like,
On which you looking at the indexes?
hmm. But even like Upstart, $1.50, like $1.50 up, $1.50 down. Um,
I'm telling you, I think either
yeah,
probably Friday. I think Friday is going to be explosive, but like in the last hour and a half.
mm-hmm. If you could sit through all the paint drying
Get up, go take a
to get
walk. Get some fresh
there,
air. Pentavere publishes a study. Yeah, I'm not
mm,
seeing it. It was something actually exciting, like someone had bought some shares or, but I'm not seeing it. How much is it? $1.16. It's right on the full the 200, but yeah, I don't see that bounce. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll wait on that one. Mm, Qfin. Oh wow. You know what? If you think it's boring, imagine what people watching might think.
I think we're kind of entertaining, but
I think we are too, but like we are, it. Do you think it's a boring job? I love it. I mean, the news excites me, the candles excite me, but do you think that doing this generally is boring for
I think
other
a day
people?
to day. For other people, probably. And I think
Mm.
too, though, like what I would hope that the takeaway from people watching some experienced traders is that you don't have to overtrade on a day like this. You could really just sit and watch this paint dry, or you really could take your money and use your cash position to sit on the sideline.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad it's a boring day because I forgot I have a lunch date. Let me confirm.
Oh, you sure do. Talking about you hungry.
Right?
What time? What time is lunch?
That's what I have to. That's what I need to find out. I think it's at 1 or 2. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So you're still gonna go
can't
make your
remember.
pancakes and you order way more lunch than you're gonna eat, and then you're gonna bring home your leftovers and pick with
Well,
those
you
for
know,
two
I want to
days.
go to the cigar lounge afterwards, so we'll see. It's still on for
Well, we
today.
are at 11 o'clock, but
And we're out. No, I'm
just
kidding.
yeah, well, no, but just if you look at this, like the 15-minute candle on everything, it's they're starting to print green again. Thank you,
Let me
hallelujah.
tell you, I just asked the person, like, are we still on for today? And now I'm sitting here silently hoping they say, oh, I gotta do. But anyway, I'm sorry. I don't want to go anywhere.
I do that kind of stuff all the time. Like, damn it, it's like
Freezing.
I have a whole 12:30, so you know that's okay. I
I'm gonna
gotta
give them an out. So I'm sorry, please, really quickly before I know you got stuff to do. So what were you saying before I interrupted you? Because that
No,
was
so what I was
important.
saying is just like I feel like what we saw yesterday was a bunch of drawdown. And so we saw the market kind of start up and stay up a little bit, and then around 12:30 it started coming back down. And I told you this morning I thought that having seen that feverish pop at the end of the day that we were likely going to spend the first part of the morning kind of hovering before we started to see some upward movement. Um, when we talk about convinced and being convinced, I don't trust too much of it only because I recognize that in an hour or two when they feel like it, but they have this tendency of doing things in reverse. The day that we're having right now is just the opposite of how it did it yesterday.
Yep. Yep.
I hope that made sense. But
It did. It
if you're
did.
sitting around, like you absolutely, I expected this because we talked about it. It was the first thing we talked about this morning.
The way the person that trained me, or one of the people that trained me, explained it is, and it makes great sense to me. They own the market maker only has a certain amount of plays that they can run. Like any football team or basketball team, they have a playbook, and you're gonna get one of those plays, or you might get two of those plays in one day. But there's not an infinite number of movements or strategies. We only got up, down, and sideways. And so, and when you think about it that way, it's like, yeah, well, that is not as hard because it's only maybe 6 to 10 things that you're watching for over and over and over. My experience early on was that you would fall for them over and over and over. But once you realize that that's what's happening, then you can change it.
Hmm. So just wanted to get that out there, and I also want to do my daily reminder that we should all take profit when we see it, especially on a week like this one. Cash is the position, and don't feel the need to have to trade the chop. The market maker will take your money every time, every
Facts.
time.
So I have 99 Amazon labels that I'm about to start working on after I eat. And call me later.
All right. Yep. I will.
Be
I'll
safe in
probably
the
call you right
markets,
after the.
everyone.
Huh? Or are
You
you
say
going
you're
to?
gonna call me right after?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm
Because
gonna
what do
call
you
you
think?
after I make my pancakes. Then how about that?
How about that? Sounds good.
I'll call you shortly.
All right. Have a good one.
Peace. I be eating. That's what I be doing. This ain't gonna come out right. When it's cold, it's different. When the air is cold, it's freezing outside, right? Huh? It's freezing outside, right? Yeah. Dude, I'm supposed to have lunch with somebody today, and I said, listen, are we still going for today? And then after I said that, I thought about it. You want to go? Who you going to lunch with? One of my cousin's wives. Where they go? Shit, I said, they ain't gonna be eating outside. Oh, that's not that. But see, I ain't got no car. No what? No car. No car. No car. So I was gonna catch a Uber up there, and you know. But I told her she coming all the way from Atlanta, so yeah, if you want, if it's too cold for you, I understand. That stuff be sounding good when you be planning it, honey, but it's actually time to do it. For me anyway. But she's coming from her, she's coming from their place. On the bus in the car. And what did she pick you? The last time I asked one of them bitches to stop to get me, they ain't cold at all, and I feel like it was because I asked them to stop and get me. That was ghetto. What old funny ass and virgo ass. And most people aren't like that, but you know, when you have experience like that. What I'm saying, if y'all on the love, then she's driving. what I'm saying to you is there was a similar situation where me and Gail were supposed to go to work, and she was driving. So I said, on your way in, stop by and pick me up. Gail ain't called or nothing that next day. So I figured maybe it was because I asked her to pick me up. So it's got me kind of reluctant. She ain't. She ain't not that one. I hope that wasn't me, but I know that. So that's probably the good. And kind of drive right by you. I was on three.